I've been a record producer for about 10 years now. I started came up in the hardcore scene as just a kid in New Jersey, going to shows, booking shows, trying to put out little records and compilations. I'd gone to school in Humbucking for engineering, totally unrelated to music, but it was still a passion and kind of a hobby of mine. And I wound up taking a class in the same building that shared a studio with Machine, the record producer. That was pretty much it for me. I wound up dropping out of school at 3 credits left, and I've been making records since. In addition to producing records, I also play in a band called Fit for an Autopsy, which is a cool, just creative outlet for me. But I've been lucky enough to work with a lot of bands in that genre and other various subgenres of heavy music. Stuff like Every Time I Die, the Casey Strain, North Lane Counterparts, Straight from the Path, Body Count, the Ami Affliction. It's hundreds of bands at this point, but yeah, it's been a good time. A big part of what I do is always trying to find a sound that's unique for a band, and that goal has sort of led me down many endless paths of gear hunting, looking for the best mics, mic pre's, amps, pedals, anything I can do to kind of make my own sound or make something that's cool and unique for the band. So it's sort of this never-ending journey of trying things and buying stuff and selling it and listening to demos and going through just everything I can, absorbing stuff. It's pretty all-encompassing, but for me it's worth it. I like making records that stand out and kind of have their own vibe, so it's worth the hunt, I guess. Yeah, so I've tried a lot of different pickups, probably all of them. Anything that would be considered high gain or modern or relevant to our genre over the years, between the guitars I have and the companies I've worked with and all the bands that have been through here with guitars. And about a year or two ago, I met Ken from Unearth when we had played some shows together, and he had shown me these Fishman pickups, which I very quickly fell in love with and now use and have in several guitars at the studio. I think the main difference with the Fishman pickups that I noticed when I put in my guitar was the immediate presence and sort of clarity that it brought to the tone. It was easier to dial rhythm tones that I was happy with, like it felt better to play, and I didn't feel like anything was being sort of carved out or kind of over manipulated. I just got a really good hi-fi present modern tone, and that was kind of all I wanted out of a pickup. I want to design the sound, and I don't want the sound impacted by a part of the instrument necessarily, especially from electronics, you know, in a guitar. So it was cool to finally put a pickup into a guitar and be like, oh, this is now sort of an open canvas for me instead of being kind of boxed in. So I'm a big fan of the modern Fluences. They have sort of been the signature 7-string one for me that I've liked to use a lot. I've recorded a lot of records with them now. And I also like the classics. I have a pair in a Les Paul that I think really did justice to that guitar. And recently I tried the Willie Adlers, which I threw in a telly, and I really liked the active-passive sort of toggle switch. It's the first time I was it ever felt really functional for me. It noticeably it almost in a way sort of allowed me to pick them as I played riffs and recorded riffs on a record, which I thought was really cool, like to have 2 usable things in one pickup set. So I've been more on that tip lately. One other feature that I thought was cool that Fishman did was the battery packs. It kind of solved the problem by having a consistent 9 volts. It's something I never even really thought of until recently, whereas like a regular 9-volt battery will slowly deteriorate and die. Those will just turn off when they're done, so it's never a guess how full or empty your 9-volt is and if you're getting the proper power to your pickup. So that solved a big problem for me in the studio. My name is Will Putney, record producer at Graphic Nature Audio, guitarist for Fit for an Autopsy, and I back Fishman.